Hey, Evil Dead fans, what's going on? It's Gothman back again with some more stuff. So, not just Evil Dead stuff, but predominantly. My wife and I are considering moving in the near future, buying a bigger house, buy a farm, start keeping our horses on our property instead of boarding them. So, I got a lot of props that I'm not going to be bringing with me. So, that means I got to move a bunch of shit. So, in the near future, I might be doing some videos on some of the things I'm selling as companions to link to when I'm selling on a page. So, if you see a video pop up and it's talking about something that's for sale and you don't know where it's for sale, it's probably for sale somewhere on Facebook. I post in specific groups and marketplaces and stuff. So you can ask, and I'll put the link in the video, maybe. But it's mostly going to be a companion to that. Having said that, I got some news on the front with the Trifari necklace replicas. Those are going and flowing and going well. Takes a few weeks for me to make that because when I pour, the actual necklace doesn't take any time to make at all. It's very simple. But the lens requires a lot of focus because it has to be poured very specifically, it has to cure a certain way, and then the frosting has to happen a certain way, and if that doesn't happen or there's an air bubble in it, it's wrecked and I have to do the whole thing all over again. And it takes 3 days just for that to cure before I can even start buffing it or anything. So it takes me a while to do the necklaces, and having a full-time position like I do, responsible for as much staff as I'm responsible for, going into Q4, Q1, I don't have time. I have almost no time at all. So basically, the necklaces take a little while for me to make, so if you placed an order, you'll get it. It's just give me time. On a personal note, I have some other things that I'm working on, but I had some birthday goodies, and I want to show you the birthday goodies. Birthday goodie number one, Brett sent me, hi boys, dog's running in here, down boo-boo. So Brett sent me this. This is a filler piece for my chainsaw, and this is a block and a piece molded to it, bolted in still, but I could take the bolt out and it would still be on there. And then a backer, which I asked him specifically for, that contains the ribbing and it slips into the chainsaw the way I want it to. Now, I have one already, which is already in my chainsaw, and you guys have seen this. And this is just a couple pieces of foam put together with a resin cap. So I just molded this and that's what I did. So that slips right out, really simple, and then I had just a backer here. This will fit in here, but there's a problem, and Brett has discussed this on a video recently. I didn't cut off my lip of my home light. Not enough of it anyway, and because it still curves, it's not show accurate. That means the tip of the block is going to catch it. Now, that is why you have to cut that off, and if you have one of these, you got to let your lip go. I think it looks really cool, but you got to let it go. So I will be letting it go. And now you might say, well, how do you keep it in if you get rid of the lip? Because that's what holds it in place. Well, that's what the two Allen screws in the top are for in Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead. So if you want, you do need to bolt it in. There are ways around bolting it in, and I'm considering using them because I don't really like the bolts. I never did because it looks like that blatantly is all that's for. And so, I don't know. We'll see. We're also considering, I like this so much, we're considering vacuum forming just the top piece of this and making it available on our page, Knights of Samaria. So definitely we'll let you guys know about that. Also, if you want the #1 chainsaw in the business, you have to get it from Brett. He'll teach you how to do the pull string. We will include the Ash vs. Evil Dead rear piece to plug the hole. So if you want it to be show accurate, get it. Mine is not show accurate to any show. Mine is specified the way I want it because I built it and I do it the fucking way I want to do it. So you might be like, oh, there's only one bolt here and there's only one silver attachment piece. Yeah, fuck you. I did it that way on purpose. It's mine. So Sheila's built the way I like it to be built. And that's also because I had an intention of doing rotoscoping my own comic, essentially, and I would do photographs for it and then rotoscope over it, and then I didn't want the chainsaw to look so blatantly like any one particular model in case it got some traction. I was going to get sued. I'd probably get sued anyway, but I just wanted it to look unique to my project, so that way if someone stole the artwork or picked up some of my artwork, it would be like, oh, well, that's blatantly Al's saw. That's not Evil Dead saw or Brett's saw. That's Al's saw, and mine looks my way, and it's not going to look like anybody else's. So that covers the saw. Necronomicons. Hi, Weasel. Dog. I built two. I built mine, and mine was accurate to the way I wanted it. It was in Tom Sullivan's style, bound the way he likes. I did the artwork, however, in red ink. Has the Tom Sullivan copyright page. Has a lot of the artwork from the original Evil Dead movie. There's a scene where they scroll through and they show you every single page. It's in the deleted scenes. Contains this particular page, which you may recall had a handprint in it, a latex hand. I took the latex hand out because why would you keep a piece of flesh in the book? There were vellum pages in that. I got rid of that too. And then I added some Ash vs. the Evil Dead pages in the back. The rear piece, which is everybody's favorite, which is the picture of, you know, Ash in the future or the past with the boomstick and everything. This is from the DVD. Just sort of repurposed and reused, so it does contain that Hail to the King baby in the unofficial text. These are accurate to the original piece. So I did have some inaccuracies and things that I liked, but for the most part, I felt it was the best overall, inspired by Ash vs. Evil Dead book, and I made this when Evil Dead came out. Now, I got tapped to build another one, and I really didn't want to do it because Tom and I had spoken, and specifically I promised him I would never sell a Necronomicon with his artwork in it to protect his copyright. And he was appreciative of that, and it's my choice. But I did build one for free as a gift for Brett from Brett's Groovy Chainsaws. He didn't give me anything in return, I just felt like it. And he built his cover, I updated and painted his cover, which I did videos on, and I made the updates that I would have made in mine to his, but didn't put any Ash vs. Evil Dead stuff in it. We kept it Evil Dead 2. So, really Evil Dead 1, because Evil Dead 2 had some changes, but that's a whole other issue. And so he was happy with it, and I was pretty much done with Necronomicons. I was not going to build another one. But, when I was a kid, and I was a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, I was alive for all the Evil Dead franchise. I was born in 82, so I was alive during the entirety of the series, but I was way too young to actually see any of the films when they came out. I'm not one of those kids who pretends that I was an 80s kid. I was too young to remember pretty much most of the 80s. Most of my memories are from like 1992 and on when I was a kid. So, pretty much 10 years old and beyond. But I remember watching Hercules and Xena. I was very into that. And Autolycus, of course, played by Bruce Campbell. So when a movie came on Channel 11 after Hercules and Xena on Saturday or Sunday called Army of Darkness, starring Bruce Campbell from Hercules and Xena, I wanted to watch it. And my first introduction to the Evil Dead series was Army of Darkness. Like many people's, because that was the only one you could show on TV because of licensing and because of content. So that to me was always Evil Dead, and I didn't realize that Evil Dead was different, and I didn't learn a lot of that until much later on when I was an adult and I was in college. So what happened was I wanted the Ash versus Evil Dead Necronomicon because it showed the inside of the book. It was very cool. They released a lot of the pages in Entertainment Weekly and stuff, so I knew I wanted to build that one. The cover looked like skin because it was leather. So to me, it was the most realistic looking Necronomicon in terms of its description. Bound in human flesh, inked in blood. I felt like that one really nailed the description. But I also wanted the Tom Sullivan version because the more research I did, I found out, you know, what happened with Tom and everything, and I really supported his version, so I kind of combined the two when I made mine. But really, my heart always wanted the Army of Darkness one, because that was the first one I saw. Problem. Partway through the shooting, they had to redesign the Necronomicon because Ash had to dive into it, and it was too small. So they rebuilt this bigger one, and it's the one we know from the movie. But we never saw the pages. We never saw any page, ever. Any pages you see in that movie are flashback. They are not shot for that film. So then it's like, well, what the hell is in the book? My theory? Nothing. Because they had to design it late and redesign it, they didn't have time to make the pages, so I don't think there's anything in the book. So as a prop maker, that's really boring, because what are you going to build? Just the cover? You could do that, but then what's in the book? So if I couldn't put anything in it, I never really wanted to build it. And this is an easy cover to build, actually. This one you can build with hot glue, paper towels, and some vampire fangs. So I was kind of bummed, and I never really built it for that reason. And then I got the idea to build an iPad cover that way, and I was going to do that. And then my birthday came, and a friend of mine, David, decided to send me something. Sent me a giant latex version of the damn Army of Darkness. Now, he's gone ahead and airbrushed this for me, but you know me. I'm going to airbrush it myself, and I'm going to go over and redo the whole damn thing, because that's the way I am. I like in the crevices, you can see it's lighter. I got to penetrate that with all the dark. I need the dark so you can see every detail. But raw latex looks like this with the ones that he used. Little flesh tone. This has been pre-painted. So I'm going to go in and repaint this. But now I've got myself a cover. And I got to figure out what to do with it. First of all, I love this cover because it's the way I would have done it. No stupid N carved in the forehead. I fucking hate that. The letter N didn't even exist until 13 or whatever. But the letter N as we knew it would not have existed when this supposed book was made. So the fact there was an N in the forehead really pissed me off, and I thought it ruined the whole mold. There was also some writing in the spine, which made no sense to me at all. Because nobody marked spines. That was not a thing. So I was very, very curious as to why that was done. So those two things I hated, and I've seen replicas that contain that. This doesn't have either, so it makes me very happy. There is versions where there is no N, but those were the fake books. So I think the one that Ash actually picks up has the N in the forehead. But I don't like it, so I don't want it, and I'm not going to use it. But now I have to figure out what the hell to put in it. So now I have an idea. I could just redo my pages, blow them up, and put them in, but that's boring. Also, it's not thick enough. So in a book with no content, what do? Well, I came up with the idea that I'm going to take the script from Army of Darkness, redo the font, maybe a Cthulhu font, or maybe something more legible, but looks kind of like that. And I'm going to insert certain Sullivanry here and there, and I'm going to build my collectible, customized Necronomicon version of the script to Army of Darkness. And that's what I'm going to print out, age, and put into that, and that's what I'm going to keep. It's going to be a customized Necronomicon script from the film. And that's going to be a lot of fun to do, and it's going to take me a while to do the artwork, but I will actually show you through screen capture of my monitor on my Apple how I do that, and it's pretty easy if you know what you're doing, like most digital things. And so I'm going to go and do that, and I hope you all really enjoy the result. But the truth of the matter is, in terms of prop making and prop use and photography, I don't know if I need to keep it. I'm not giving it away, so if you want that, you're dreaming. I don't give away. I did one giveaway one time, and I'm never going to do it again. Why am I going to spend money when I've already spent time and energy on something? That's ridiculous. But I could sell it, but I'm not really hard up for money, so I don't really want to do that either. I'm thinking trade. But what do I trade for? So I will have some videos in the near future with the build and stuff, but I think what I'd like to do is have a contest and see who wants it the baddest, and then what they'd be willing to trade for it. Ideally I'd like one of those really cool power gloves that Ultra Effects Studios made, but my book is not going to be anywhere remotely worth a power glove. That power glove is insanely detailed. Even guys from the production have commented on it on Facebook and said that's the sickest thing I've ever seen. And it looks just like the show. So if you saw Brett's video, you know. If you haven't, go watch it. That's the best prop replica I've ever seen in my life. I've seen a guy build a life-size DeLorean that functions, and I think that glove is the best prop I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, so I do other props too, Babylon 5, Star Wars, a lot of sci-fi props, Firefly. But I am very interested in possibly moving that on once I finished it, because like I said, I have my Necronomicon and I'm good with it, but I think it would be cool. So I'm considering doing that, so I will make videos on that going forward and show you guys what's going on with that. I also very much want to get this formed and made. I may not do that till I move, but we'll see what you guys want to do. The Trifari necklaces are rolling. Start doing them. I am still also finishing up some Power Ranger commissions and things like that. You guys have all seen. You guys have seen my Master Morpher, so you know what's going on with that. Just got the updates from the Starlight Studios pieces, so that's in good shape as well. For the most part, everything is negotiable, but for the most part, I think I am really only going to trade that. I really don't think I'm going to sell it. But yeah, I'm 99% sure I'm not going to keep it. I just don't need to. I've always wanted it, but now that I have it, it's in my hands, and I'm building it, and I'm going to be excited about it. I still feel like because there's no innards, even a really cool script, custom script, it would be cool to keep, but I feel like one of you guys would appreciate it more who don't have a Necronomicon of any kind. So I definitely think I'm going to make that available once I've finished it. So stay tuned to the page. Also, keep an eye out on Brett's page. He's got some more stuff coming down the pipe as well. Stay tuned into the Facebook page for the Knights of Samaria fans of Ash versus the Evil Dead, or Ash Williams versus the Evil Dead, where a lot of our things that we're building are going to be available. Knights of Samaria ring caps for custom rings. All the chainsaw parts that Brett makes available are going to be available. The Trifari necklace is available. Evil Dead Collectors Initiative is another good Facebook page to find really good Evil Dead stuff. Elise, Rob, a bunch of good people post there and post things for sale there, so you can get good stuff there too. But yeah, going into Christmas, a lot of stuff going on. So hope everybody enjoys their holiday. If you're in the north or the northeast like I am, enjoy the cold. I think, speaking of which, I need to go pick up a snowblower tire. So I'm going to go do that. But I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed. Thank you for those of you who sent me birthday goodies. I do appreciate that. And hopefully I'll have some cool build stuff for you in the near future. I got some house projects that I got to do with my spare time, but I'm hoping to slip some in here and there. If you did order a necklace, you will get it. That is my top priority because you've already compensated. And all parties who built it have been paid their piece. So now I just have to build it, put it in its box, and send it to you. The first one of those did go out, and I know that person was very happy with it, so I will continue to ship those out as I finish them. I have quite a few. If you guys are wondering how popular they are, that's how many boxes I got. So, they're pretty popular. So, yeah, check out the Knights of Samaria page to get that.